Reading report. 1. Title of the reading: The Judge's House. Author: Bram Stoker. 2. A reading teach a lesson. Theme: Moral. What did you learn from this one? This story teaches that some people's recommendations should be considered. 3. Setting: where the reading takes place. The story unfolds in a large mansion in a small town. 4. Main characters. Give a brief description of each character. John Moore, main character, rational student. Mr. Camford, lawyer who rent the mansion. Mr. Wood, owner of the hotel. She cared for Mr. Moore. Mr. Dempster, from the lawyer and from Mr. Moore, he didn't believe in ghosts. Plot: write a summary about the story. A student decides to go to a cloud place to study without interruptions for an important exam. He goes to a nearby town without telling anyone. There, he stays in a hotel, but is not comfortable enough and decides to rent an old mansion. Some people he knows warn him that strange things happen in that house and that an evil judge lived there. But he is a very rational person and he ignores them. The owner of the hotel didn't agree that he went to that old house. However, she offers to help him with the purchase so that he can move, and the lawyer of rents the mansions recommends Mr. Dempster to help him with the cleaning of the house and food. Clearly, Mr. Dempster didn't believe in ghosts or people's histories about the house and told her that the only thing there was rats and insects. The days go by and Mr. Moore's stomach becomes a little uneasy because the mice are noisy and there is a rat that was particularly angry and his gaze was cruel. He tries to scare her by throwing her some books. He only manages to hurt her with a Bible, which is made him strange. One morning, Mr. Morse goes for a walk and talks to the owner of the hotel. She worriedly introduces him to Dr. Thornhill, and they tell her that the rope hanging in the house is the one with which in the past the Jews hanged people. The doctor offers to help him and tells him that he will be very attentive all night. That night, a heavy storm fell on the house and Mr. Morse wanted to investigate the rat's hiding place. He realized that in the painting the judge appeared and that his evil gaze was that of the rat that had bothered him for days. However, he tried to continue in his work until later that the rat started making noise and realized and the figure of the judge had disappeared from the painting and was now sitting in the shade. Here begins a terrifying encounter for Mr. Morse, who is astonished, and he doesn't read. The judge reads his robe and puts it on Mr. Morse's neck until he hangs himself. The alarm goes off and Dr. Thornhill gas with a group of people to help, but it was too late. At the end, the judge is again in the painting with a triumphant smile. 5. Did you like the reading? Why or why not? I don't like horror stories. 6. On a scale of 1 worst to 10 best, where would you rate this book? Why? 7. It is an attentive story, but it is not my reading style. 7. Write a list of new vocabulary and expressions that you learn. Brightly, firelight, perhaps, suddenly, enormous, mercilessly, shone, seisurely, seemed, kicking, scratching, without, would, handlet, uneasily, hang,